Welcome everyone. It is May the 17th, 2024, and we are finishing up. This will be um our last class on this chakra. I'm actually kind of sad to see it go because we've
I
learned
was
so
thinking the
much.
same thing.
Yeah. I think that's why I've dragged it out to 16 classes.
Well, we can always come back to it.
Yeah, we will. We will. Yeah. So, and yeah, so this is the universal law of instantaneous transmission and transformation connected to the ninth dimension and the Lurion clavicle chakra. So let's just jump right in here. Oh, yes. And of course, I always bring this up because we're just keeping this in the forefront. Our mission of peace with Michael. Peace on earth. So the more we anchor in all these laws and all this information, the more in alignment we are, the more in alignment with peace we are. And then that is what creates peace on earth. So we're in the mother's new time, and it just is time for peace within. Oh, I'm just going to set the timer so I know have an idea of the time. Usually I forget, but there we go. Okay. I just saw the mother's new time and then reminded to set my timer. Okay. All right. So, and it's funny how I made this new I am thing because I made our hands green here because they're loving hands. And the violet flame, of course, is in the center and at the tips of your fingers and thumbs. Also, the silver flame is in the middle. So our hands are fully loaded for healing. So just remember that. And then times 8 billion was right there. So there we go. I am times 8 billion. Okay, so, and here we are. This is the clavicle right here, right under the throat. And truth connected to the ninth dimension. This is a dimension of truth and instantaneous transmission and transformation. So this truth is not really these colors. Truth is silver, but because this dimension is all about truth, I put I am truth here because it's such an important one. And it should say I am truth and love, actually, because Michael really explains love here.
Mm.
Yeah, because you can't have truth without love or love without truth. So I need to change that again. Oh, well. Okay, so yeah, so this is us learning about the ninth dimension, engendering completion and truth. And it is a bridge to a higher level of unspoken communication, which we were just talking about, really listening to our guides for practicing of telepathy. So once we anchor it in with our guides, it'll be much easier to be speaking through this chakra, actually, and this dimension, the ninth dimension, communication with the higher selves of others. All right. So the universal law of instantaneous transmission and transformation is our activation by conscious choice of what we choose to experience and what we choose to bring forth, the transformation of our sacred self. So we are transforming all those old belief systems that have limited us back to truth and love. We are turning on, in conjunction with the mother, the perfection of our soul design. And there's no old belief systems in our soul design. It's peace, love, and joy, and how things work in the higher realms. The expression, yes, Darren.
I'm wondering about this transformation of our sacred self. I thought our sacred self is perfect, so how can we transform it?
Well, you're sacred right now, and you're still holding
Yeah.
on to belief systems.
So I'm not transforming the sacred self. I'm transforming the belief systems that keep me from getting there.
Yeah. Yeah, because everybody's sacred. Doesn't matter if they are holding on to things or not. Everyone.
Right.
And that's helping you remember you are sacred. You are divine. Everyone is birthed angelic. And when we view everyone on the planet as sacred, then we can all come in quicker instead of like sending out blame or judgment. We don't want to be blaming anyone or judging anyone. And that would create peace on earth. So we were turning on, in conjunction with the mother, the perfection of our soul design, the expression of greater love, creating a ripple effect for the entire planet and far beyond. We are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. Okay. Oh, we've got somebody new. Okay. Hello. We're glad that you joined us. Thank you for coming. Okay, so the universal law of instantaneous transmission and transformation, this is just a repeat of what I just said, is our activation by conscious choice of what we choose to experience, what we choose to bring forth, the transformation of our sacred self. We are turning on, in conjunction with the mother, the perfection of our soul design, the expression of greater love, creating a ripple effect for the entire planet and far beyond. So what we're creating on this planet, it just naturally ripples out into this universe to the planets that are next in line for their ascension. And yes, just to know it reaches far. We are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So that's what this law is all about. And at the beginning of this channeling, Dr. Emoto was brought up, and how he took pictures of frozen water, and the more loving intentions that went into the water, the more beautiful the crystals were. So I just want to remind us that we are made up of about 60% water, connected to our feelings. So the more you're feeling love towards yourself, not judging yourself, not judging others, it crystallizes it helps the water remember our soul design, really, within ourselves. So water is alive, and when we're drinking water, it's good to be knowing that the water is really beautiful, but sending that intention into the water as well. If the water is love, then we are love, and it helps us transform into who we truly are. All right. So your soul design, this was in the meditation. Let it come to you as a holograph, dancing directly in front of you. For some, it will be a snowflake or a spider web, or just looking at your light body, or perhaps it's like a dream catcher. Just take a moment and look at it, the magnificence of your soul design. Let it come up. You can't pull it up, just ask and let it come. So that's a really good exercise to do, just to be very cognizant that the soul design is very close to you. It's no different than your universal self. It's located, the seat of your soul, which is the top of the solar plexus. And where else is it located? It's also located, I thought it was 3. Universal self, it'll come to me. But anyways, it's very, very close to us. So it's time now to remember and try to see your soul design. Okay, so this can be like an idea of what it's like. So our field is like our soul design as well. So the field is huge. Yes, Ken.
Wasn't it also located in the temple behind our heart?
I think it was.
You think it was?
Yeah, and I was just gonna ask if you could go back to the last slide real quick.
And is this a skull?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, thanks for joining us. Have you been watching the recordings?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Okay. Yes, this one?
Yeah. So you said it connects to us in our soul. Yeah.
Yeah, it actually connects. It's in the universal self, which is the biggest part of the field. It's right above the right at the solar plexus. So let's see, right here, right there. The bright yellow chakra.
Oh,
Up
okay.
there, because
Okay.
the heart chakra actually anchors all the way down. The tip of the heart chakra, which is like a big Valentine heart, anchors right down to the top of the solar plexus.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. And there's one, it's the spark. There's actually two sparks in the heart. There's one right in the center and then one at the tip of the heart. So I'm thinking the soul design is anchored in both sparks, but I can't believe I can't remember right now. It'll come to me. Okay, so what we, it's here. It's in the spinal column. That's where the soul design is. It's in the spinal column, the central column from your tailbone. It's a cylinder around your spine and a clear golden cylinder up to your crown. So I put it around here like this. Soul design is embedded in there. Top of the solar plexus and also the universal self. Okay. And in this cylinder is all your information, all your design, and in some ways it looks like bundles of wires from massive computers. So this is me just making up sort of a simulation of what it might look like, but I'm sure it's very different than that, but just to give us an idea. So that spinal column is very embedded with everything about us. On this bundle, there are many DNA markers that pertain to your physicality, to your emotional health, to your spiritual abilities, the activation of capacities and talents. Look at the markers just like little mailbox flags that are already raised and that have been serving you throughout this lifetime. So there's lots of these markers. It's not just 3. There are many, many markers. It's a good idea to even just feel as if all the markers are up too, because that's our frequency rising, like increasing. So if you go in and you really are working on something and you know where the markers are, then of course you ask permission and you invoke, and then with Sanat Kumara, you raise the flags. But here's an idea of how to do it. Go to the area where you've decided there is something that you wish to activate. Perhaps it's the ability to play the piano, or to breathe clearly, or to maintain joy without anxiety, self-worth, the ability to be in community. All of this is contained within your DNA and your design. And then what you do is you look down, starting at the top of your spine. And it's as if you're facing, remember he told us, it's as if you're facing your spine, you're another being and you're facing the back of your spine and you're looking at it and you're looking top down, and then you look up, you see where those markers are located, and there could be several because this is complex. And then with Sanat Kumara, you invoke the law and the permission of instantaneous transmission. And then you, from the top down, you go and lift up those markers as if you're putting up a signal that there's mail to be picked up, little flags, and you lift them up and you allow the activation to take place. And then you come back into your heart, leaving the markers up and allowing the activation. And you might need to do it for several days, but then the key is to allow and really listen to your guides. And then also to bring yourself to still point and give thanks. And bringing yourself to still point every day and giving thanks is super important. So it's a good practice to have, even if you're not doing this. And this is how we were asked to do this. So this was a question that came in from Fern. And she says, I feel 10 feet high when I listen to you, Sanat Kumara. You empower me and us so much. Thank you. He says, you're welcome. And then she asked, can you help me understand how to bring my heart to this still point you're talking about? And SK says, yes. Think of it as if you were bringing, as if the energy from your head and your entire being, both from the bottom up and the top down, is going down a drain. So all that energy is draining and collecting in your heart. So you can work just with your physical body, or you can work like right up to source and bring down the energy of the mother. And what I'm realizing is there's 2 mothers. There's a mother below, and one of her colors is red. So that's the vitality. So shoot that up into your heart. Allow the blue ray of the mother to come down. So that's the love of the mother, and to gather into the still point, which is really the stillness of the Father, our knowing of our self-worth in the heart, in that temple in behind the heart. And then allow your breath, and you may practice this, allow your breath to slow, count 4 in, hold for 4, 4 out, and do it for 8 until you're comfortable. So 8 in, hold it for 8, 8 out, and then you're really slowing down your breath. You can even go to 16 if you want. And then simply say, I wish to go to the stillness. If your heart and your heartbeat was a pendulum, simply stop the pendulum. The same way you would reset a clock, an old-fashioned clock. Stop it and just be. Do not worry about breathing. We will not let you suffocate. Your body is constructed to start breathing when you need to. So just be in that place of stillness. It feels like the immense void of nothingness. In truth, beloved, it is where everything is. So simply practice. Do not let fear or I can't do this or I don't know how to do this interfere. In fact, turn down that flag and turn up the flag of still point. So this is a really good practice to be able to be in your heart space, out of the monkey mind, in your heart, in the stillness, in that, where is it? Immense void of nothingness. It's just, it's good to practice. Okay. So first we are learning to be in the alignment. So stillness is very much connected with our joy as well. You will find that. And from the joy comes the rapture, in the best sense of the word, by being informed, by being in alignment. And then we will have that ultimate choice. And what was he talking about? Being able to jump out of form. Yes, Darren.
How would you describe rapture?
Well, that's for you to discover. Mhm. Just, you know what? Practice being in the joy. Practice the still point. Practice it morphing into the joy. Practice it morphing into the rapture. It just happens naturally. And if we are not accessing it, what's coming up? Just recognize it and bless it. Because the more you bless what hasn't worked here, the faster it leaves. And then you can be in that alignment everywhere you go, so that it's very hard for you to be pulled out of alignment. And we're just smiling and blessing everyone and everything wherever we go. And you're not feeling any kind of lack of self-worth, lack of self-love. You're not, jealousy isn't coming up. Wanting to control a situation isn't coming up. You're just in that state of allowance. And it's a beautiful state. Mm-hmm. So, and this is kind of what is helpful, because it says here to sit in a quiet place and recognize your dominant emotions, and then make a mental note. You can even write this down. I mean, I spent years writing this down, figuring out what was going on. And then, you know, whatever your dominant emotion is, you can see, well, is it a lower frequency or is it a more increased frequency? And here it says, and this was Hawkins that developed the scale of the frequencies. And he said, well, it is easy to know your feelings at any given time. When you go inwards and begin assessing yourself, ego comes into play. The ego bias towards self will not let you accurately assess yourself. It will make you defend your negative thought patterns and feelings by telling you that it was some external circumstance or person who caused it. It is quite a challenging process and requires you to be totally honest with yourself, about yourself, to be objective about yourself, neither thinking highly nor poorly of the self, but plainly, simply, truthfully. There's that word connected to this dimension. This is called shadow work. So it's getting to the state where there is absolutely no blame of anyone in the past. You're just grateful that you've had the experience with them because of the teachings, the lessons, the learning. So you've let go of the situation. If it's, created a negative inside yourself, it's becoming a neutral. So it's not evoking any emotion. So you can look back on the past in a state of gratitude, which is wisdom. Easier said than done, but it can be done with practice. Yeah, so it is. And so I say here, no situation and no one has ruined us or our life. We have to remember we volunteered to come here, and we've basically attracted all the situations that have, come around us that we've witnessed and experienced, and in this life and other lifetimes. So then you're not looking at it as a negative, you're looking at it without judgment, basically. And then from there, joy and rapture, the state of blessing everything happens, where you can see we're here to bless and therefore create peace on the planet, because we're blessing everyone. And it's like, it's very contagious. Joy is contagious. And Archangel Gabriel has said that many times. So the more we're blessing, the more blessings come to us, and the more blessings expand all around the planet. And we see that it's just been a really incredible adventure, the incredible journey. So, and the other thing is, this is how it expands. So SK says, so although you may feel that you are turning on one switch, so if you're only lifting one flag, say the flag of still point, one aspect, which aspects are connected to lifetimes, and all our lifetimes are anchoring actually into the physical form. And that's partly how we can turn on these switches, because say we were a really good pianist in another lifetime, that aspect comes in and you turn up the flag for wanting to play the piano, and then you may start playing the piano. So that's partly how it works. So one switch, one aspect, you will see that there is also a domino effect, and you will begin to feel better, look better, create more clearly, have greater clarity in your mental body, which has already been expanded. So the more you lift up the flags, the better we feel with everything. So you can turn down the old belief system flags and turn up the joy and the rapture and the still point. Yes, Darren.
So does turning on the flag, where's that last slide? I lost it now.
Right here?
Yeah, that one. Does that begin to give you, no, sorry. Turning on the flag, does that expand your mental body is what I want to say.
Yes, absolutely. So it says here, one switch, one aspect, you will see that there's a domino effect. So you have greater clarity in your mental body. Yeah.
So anything improving yourself, kind of.
Absolutely. Yes. That's right. So we want to turn down the flags of the old belief systems, because they're not serving us. And they're just limiting us. And that's all systems of lack of self-worth and lack of self-love. They limit us. We want to turn down those flags and turn up being able to be in the still point. And from there, everything expands. It's our soul design, remembering who we truly are. Yes, Steve, you're on mute.
So can I turn down my flag for anger and expect that that's it?
If you truly believe it.
All right.
Yeah. So yeah, turn it down and then see how you feel. Yeah. Because this is a conversation I had with a lady in the reading room today. it's like really trusting in yourself,
Right.
that is not who you are, that it was a learned condition that came down through the family lines. And we didn't really do much about it in other lifetimes. We weren't good at therapy.
Right.
This is kind of more like a step process then.
A step process, yes.
Yes, yes.
Mhm. Mhm. And
Pretty interesting.
yeah. Did you have something else to say?
I was just gonna ask more about the domino effect. How do we continue that?
Oh, expand that expansion of yourself. It will
Yes.
naturally happen.
Okay, thank you.
And don't forget, we're getting a lot of help from the higher realms. We're getting upgrades from the Divine Mother constantly. She's expanding her tsunami of love. The galactics are surrounded the planet in a pink energy that's called, well, the pink, and then also the Porlana Sea, which helps us go deeper and deeper into forgiveness of everything. Because that's part of the thing that they struggled with for their coming to peace, was forgiving each other. So some of the scenarios that are playing out on planet are ancient. And because we're in physical form, we're learning to do this in physical form, which has never been done before. So we are forgiving things that we can't even imagine being who we are right now, but it happened a really long time ago. And so some of it feels very confusing. And so if you ever meet somebody that, you know, you're really struggling with, you might have had something to do with them in other lifetimes or even off planet. And the key is to stand back and bless if you can. Easier said than done sometimes, but practice makes perfect. Yes, Darren.
It's going to be a real relief when we dump all that garbage. Huh?
Yes, but just know that don't talk about it as if it's in the future. Like right now, you are your soul design right now. We're learning to believe it, like really deeply believe it. Mhm. So then the domino effect can happen. Mhm.
Well, isn't part of believing seeing as well? So when you clean off the barnacles, then you'll see it.
What are you going to see though?
My perfection.
Okay, but remember that's what you are right now.
Yeah, but I can't see it because of all the sludge and barnacles and stuff on it.
What isn't perfect about you?
The sludge and barnacles.
What are they? What is that though?
You don't see them, it's okay.
Yeah, but Darren, like, can you give me a physical barnacle that you have?
Well, it would be any of these things like anger or, you know, any emotion, any of the lower emotions, you know, would basically be barnacles.
Okay, but are you saying it's a physical freckle or something as well?
Well, I
I
think that's a result of all the lower emotions, I think, basically.
Okay, well, okay, so you're one of the ones that has some galactic technology, right?
I think so, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so are you trusting in that?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, well, the trust that you have in that, do you have that same trust for yourself?
Well, yeah, I helped create it, so I would hope so.
Okay, well, there you go. So it's waking up every morning and asking, as Steve would say, for a heart opening, to be in alignment, to be able to reach still point, so the joy expands, so the rapture expands, like it's intentional. That's why the law of intent is the second law. Sacred purpose is the first one, and sacred purpose is for us to drop these belief systems.
Yeah,
That's everyone's sacred purpose, but it takes intention.
yeah, I agree. I mean, I have that intention every morning, and I do bring myself to a point of joy every morning as well, you know.
Okay, well then you're right on track for the domino effect to happen, and that, but it's partly us believing, like really deeply believing in the magic, because it's very magical what's happening here. And also surrendering and asking for help from the other side, because that's a big thing sometimes we don't ask for.
Well, I think, yeah, I think I do ask for help, but maybe not enough, and maybe I don't have enough faith, I guess.
Well, I'd say you're doing pretty well. I mean, are you hard on yourself?
Probably harder than I should be, but I try not to be, but I think sometimes I am, yeah.
Okay, do you carry any judgment for any family members?
I try not to, but again, that's a battle sometimes.
Okay, so that's a key right there. If you can get to where you're just blessing them and thanking them for their reflection to help you get deeper into yourself, then we find it's much easier to bless the self, because you're not out there blaming any situation or person.
Yeah, I try not to, no, but you know,
It's a good one.
it's a work in progress.
Yeah, if we catch ourselves doing that, then we're holding resentment for the past, and we're not truly in that wisdom of the gratitude for everything, and we're still blaming some other situation for what's going on with us.
Yeah, yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Steve.
I keep turning the hand button on and off because I keep forgetting what I wanted to say.
I'm sorry.
There's a few articles that have to do with a change of vote,
Mm-hmm.
like from negative to positive.
Mm-hmm.
And what I found is I have to go very, very deep within myself to get to a place where I really do change my vote.
Mm-hmm.
And that results in a change of behavior.
Yep.
So I think that's what we're talking about here when we say we reach the domino effect.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So,
Reach a place where we've gone deeply enough into it that we
so
really
yeah,
change our mind.
so you're suggesting I go deeper then, I guess.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes,
Holy
that's
cow.
where we go.
Yeah, it's where we go. Yeah. Deep dive.
But you can also find it through still point too. So I don't know what you're saying is deeper, but still point is pretty deep.
Well, if you can get to still point, that's wonderful. That I don't know. I don't know if that would result in a change of vote. Yeah, I'd have to test that one out.
Mhm.
Maybe you
Because
have
still
tested.
point is soul design is
Intentional.
connecting with self-worth and the father energy. So
Right.
yeah, it's an automatic. That's why they're always saying, go to still point, practice, practice. Yes, go.
I think I can just for Darren, when you were mentioning the barnacles and removing and seeing progress. I think that's the main thing, is just seeing progress every day when you wake up and you expel some of that anger and push more towards that calmness. And then you keep moving forward every day, and that's the barnacles that you're removing.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
It may come back, after every day and the sea rises and whatnot, but you put them back down again.
Yep.
Yeah, well,
Absolutely.
and I feel like it's layers too. So you're working on it and you release a layer.
Like an onion.
Yes, there's a little more, oh, look at that. And then you welcome it in and you ask all about it. And then, oh, thank you for coming. And it disappears and you go along and then more pops up. But it's not getting mad at it. It's just curious, not furious. And it helps.
Yeah, well, I tend to be a little impatient, I think.
Impatience is connected to fear.
Oh,
Yeah. So, and I think Jesus has something to say about that. You might want to Google that on the Golden Age of Gaia: impatience, fear, and Jesus. I think he has quite a bit to say. Okay, so here's what SK said next. So what you are truly turning on in conjunction with the mother's latest blessing, you are turning on not only the capacity that you have come with, You are acting in an expression of greater love for your sacred self. All of this is one. So there's no accident that Archangel Michael talked about our infinite potential and sitting in the blue flame of the mother. So the mother's latest blessing is connected to Michael's blue, is connected to asking Michael, what is the expression of my infinite potential today? And listening, because listening in that blue energy is clarity, is truth. Remember, truth is clarity. So it's all connected. And when we work with the colors, so on board ship in the healing chambers, if we're out of alignment, we get beamed with color. And color helps brings us into that greater healing of the self. Yes, Ken.
Do we ever reach a point when it's not necessary to ask ourselves or ask any of our guides what what's the word I'm looking for here? So that we don't need to ask how we're doing that day or whatever. You understand what I'm asking?
Yeah. Yeah, there's days I don't.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean.
I'll go to bed. Yeah. Yeah, you can, yeah, but not every day yet.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Yeah. What I think the more you spend in meditation, time in meditation, it brings you into such an alignment that you're naturally connected to the planet. That red cord is connected to Gaia all the time. Like I feel like I'm with her and blessing her all the time. And I'm connected to source. So you're in that divine alignment. So any question I have, I can immediately ask my guides and I'll get an answer. So I don't actually have to sit down and go deep into meditation. You're in that flow of greater love. And it's a flow. So you can feel it flowing through you. And your telepathy is online. So you can immediately ask in the moment. It's kind of like when I'm in the reading room and somebody's ancestor, I can feel them come in and I'm able to connect with them for the people to give like just a gentle message. Like I'm not a medium, but I know that they're right there with us. So if I wasn't in that type of flow of energy, I wouldn't be able to do that. And I've only been able to do that in the last, say, 6 months. So that's something that came online because I'm in more deeply ensconced in my heart energy. Yeah. So you get into that point where you're just in that energy and it's a movement of love. You can feel it running. Yeah. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. So there we are. So this is again just a little review of the instantaneous transmission and transformation, activation by conscious choice. So we want to consciously let go all lack, all the old belief systems connected to lack, and basically choose love. Choose the blessings and virtues, choose the laws, choose understanding the dimensions, choose working with color, of what we choose to experience, what we choose to bring forth, and the transformation, knowing everyone is sacred. Knowing that everyone is sacred, we're all coming into greater love. We are turning on in conjunction with the mother, that's sitting in that blue energy with Michael and asking about our infinite potential, the perfection of our soul design. So just know it's right there. We're just recognizing it. The expression of greater love, creating a ripple effect. So again, there's the movement, the vibration of the mother energy. The blue vibrates. And it was Ashira that told me, like, once we get to that flat line, that's peace, that's serenity. And it's not choppy. It's not feeling any sense of lack. So it's very smooth. And that I have noticed that about energy, that the smoother it is, the easier it runs through. We are activating what has been present always, but not turned on. So you can turn on whatever your heart desire is connected to who you are for this lifetime. And it should easily turn on with the elimination of all the feelings of lack. Okay, so this was something that Michael said to us about love, and then I added the I am. So it's a good mantra for every day. I am love, I am loved, I am lovable. And that was Archangel Raphael that says there's no difference between healing and creation. So healing is that green energy of love, and then creation is our self-worth. So love and joy, there's no difference. So even though they're different colors, they're one and the same. Okay. And this was, oh my gosh, I don't know if anybody's memorized this, but this is really powerful. So this was what SK talked to me about when I called in about personal financial abundance, and then I put the I am to it. So I am self-worth. So this is connected to creation, connected to still point, connected to divine alignment, connected to joy and rapture. I am receptivity. So that's opening up to the mother and our infinite potential and listening to our guides. I am the ability to give and receive. So there's the balance. As you give, you must receive. So being able to receive and trust all this information. I am the willingness to move forward because I'm bringing forth currency. So I am bringing forth love for the planet. That's what this is, in a physical realm. And it's connected to money. It's connected. More you are in love and you're allowing the love to run through you, then the abundance, the money just comes naturally, because it's like attracts like. So I am establishing, so that's your foundation, your framework, the laws, and recognizing my own currency of love. So self-love, we've got self-worth up here. Here we've got currency of love. It runs, it moves. I am my own deservingness. So again, your self-worth. I am my own worth to experience, to be able to create and play. So it's all about balancing the mother energy and the father energy, your self-love and your self-worth into the still point, but also allowing yourself to feel the flow of love. It's an incredibly powerful thing to tell yourself every day. And it brings us right into that divine alignment. Highly recommend memorizing it. It took me a while to memorize it, but. And then, so this is me just reminding us, focusing on what works, our higher dimensional states, our vibration, our frequency. So the mother energy and the father energy in balance, and make sure that when you're feeling the past, it's blessing, forgiveness, the blue energy, gratitude, the father energy for the past. So then you're melding those two together, and it's love, it's compassion, it's no judgment. When you're in a state of forgiveness of your family life and gratitude for it, you're in a state of compassion, actually. And there's no judgment in that, and that's love, and that helps bring forth peace on the planet. So love is the movement, expression, how love is experienced. I'm bringing forth currency in a physical realm. So that's love, the movement of love. See here, love is the movement. And then I am the willingness to move forward. So that's the fuel, basically. And just know that the Father is connected to truth as well, the divine knowing, what we may think of as supreme intelligence. So this is who you are, wisdom, deep, deep gratitude, substance. That's the framework of the laws, your physical bones in your body, inspiration. So that's coming from the void, but also from our guides, ideas, the laws, creation. So, and just know that when you're resting in the Father energy and that gratitude, it's a high state of enlightenment, and in the movement of the mother energy. So the blue and the yellow create the green. And it's just, I'm not sure about these. I think probably the galactics have might have a better idea of what the frequency is, but it's good to go on. So just know peace and joy and love, enlightenment, they're all all high frequencies, and we want to maintain those as much as possible. Okay, and then, oh yeah, this is a reminder, we are our own guru. And so that's another good one to say, I am my own guru, and then you're trusting in yourself. You're not trusting in something outside of you. And then I am the capacity to instantaneously transform air into whatever I wish. So what is air made up of? Moisture and light, the mother and the father. And so we want to neutralize how we feel about mom and dad and siblings, situations in the past, bless them, not hold on to them in a state of resentment, because that is a state of lack. Gratitude is a state of joy. We really want to feel for the past, that it doesn't evoke old emotions, because then they come into the present. The more you can neutralize the past, we create a state of peace in the present. Self-love, self-worth. Bless me, bless you. The more I bless me, the more I automatically bless you. As within, so without. And namaste. Namaste. I see the divinity in you. There's lots of meanings for namaste. But when you can see the divinity in everyone you meet, then you are really feeling the divinity in yourself. Remembering that you're born angelic. Okay, so then this was just reminders of truth that we went over. Joy. Gabriel said we are the substance of love and the matter of joy. The embodiment. Substance and matter are very similar. So that means love and joy are very similar. You are the embodiment of that essence of laughter and the tinkling of gladness, the song of freedom. We want to be feeling these all the time. All of these are interwoven as one, interwoven uniquely into your tapestry and into your being. So yeah, it's just, this is very powerful. Love is the fuel. That's our self-worth. Love is the substance. So that's the physical things that we can touch, and love is the movement. So love is everything. And we want to be in that state of not judging the past, basically. And then we can be that in the present. And that's just another one that we made. So this is to show the movement of the love. Love is the expression, how that is experienced. The mother's blessings. Remember how St. Francis told us to be in gratitude in the blessing and virtue of charity? That was the 7th dimension. So the more we're in that state of joy, in gratitude for everything, that is a 7th dimensional quality of the Christ consciousness. And from there, you can access all the dimensions, higher, lower, knowing that they're all equal. There's not one dimension that's better than another. They just have different experiences and lessons. Acceptance and allowance is another beautiful state to be in, because when you're in acceptance, if you find that you're still judging the past, if you can say, I am acceptance of the past, it will morph into a greater expansion of forgiveness and allowance and peace. But just to start by saying I am acceptance, it seems to calm down the mother and the father energy in the brain, because one side is more masculine and one's more feminine, the sides of the brain. And we tend to have a conversation between two sides without even knowing it, from what we witnessed as kids. Yes, Darren?
Can you have healing without acceptance?
I don't know. Do you think we can?
I don't know. I think you have to accept it before you can heal it.
Okay. I would agree. Yes, Ken?
I would think awareness has a lot to do with that. So that if you're, sometimes you may not be aware, but you can certainly have acceptance.
Yeah. Yeah, we can be acceptance that this has been a really big picture adventure that goes back millions and millions of years. There's a lot of moving parts to it. And I don't think we have to understand or know everything.
Nope.
No, it's impossible. I'd say it's impossible. It's in that state that we are right now. But to be extending out love to everything, I think we can do that. We have been doing that on Mondays. And what I've been noticing with that prayer list, there's been some shifts, like in the people around me, there's been some pretty big shifts. So I don't know if anybody else noticed anything. Yeah, Darren?
Yeah, I've noticed that in people, and as well, you know, we had that little prayer for rain for the wildfires,
Mhm.
and we did get rain. We have rain here right now in Alberta
Cool.
and BC.
Yeah, we got snow in BC. The mayor
Well,
at Fort Nelson was laughing because it was snowing. He was so happy it was snowing. Yeah. Yeah, so it's just trusting, really trusting in yourself. I know that when California was in drought, we did months of meditations, didn't we, Steve? And years even. And then all of a sudden it started raining. But it did take a while at that point. I think we're in a faster, a higher frequency. The whole planet's in a higher frequency, so things can manifest much quicker now. Yeah. So, oh yes, and these were our lists. So the main list that we learned from this law was I am the recognition of my interdimensional self. So I talked a little bit about that, being in that state of joy, gratitude from the 7th, and then you can access all the dimensions. So that's a flag you can turn up to be in greater gratitude for everything. I am the activation of my ascension flag, same thing actually, because it's ascension is very much connected to the golden ascension spiral of Archangel Gabriel. And gold is our self-worth. Gold is being able to bless everything, being in gratitude, enjoy in rapture. And then I am the activation of perfect health. So perfect health is the balance of the mother and the father and loving yourself. Yes, Ken. Oh, you're on mute.
I'm thinking that the reason why people have gold is just that reason.
Yeah, it's very powerful, very magical. SK is golden, connected to the sun. And just think what happened recently with the sun. There were some solar flares and we got the northern lights. It was amazing. Yeah. Okay, good. I am the activation of balance in all realms, mental and emotional, spiritual and physical. So that's kind of a overview of what we just learned with this law. And then of course, some of the other laws, relationship, financial security, adventure, meaningful work. That was with the Divine Mother and the law of change connected to the 4th chakra, the umbilical. This was attachment and detachment with the Buddha, the 6th chakra right under the heart, perfect relationship, financial abundance, perfect health, happy family, fully embodying my mission and purpose. They're all talking about the same thing. And this was the law of unification, unity with SK, the heart chakra, the 7th dimension, lustrous health, lustrous relationship, lustrous planet. So we're getting a little bit more in depth, saying the recognition of my interdimensional self, activation of my ascension flag, here's health again, perfect health, and then balance in all realms. So we're right on track. And this is the last slide. And what the Universal Mother Mary said, the keys to heaven are trust and forgiveness. The doorway is love. Open the doorway with your keys and step into your new life. And you can pull it apart or you can just feel this, like Steve says. Because once you feel love, then it all makes sense. But you can break it down and say the doorway is like the framework of the laws. Step into, this is the movement of love, trust and forgiveness. Again, movement of love of the mother, really trusting in the mother energy, and that creates peace. Mhm. A lot of it, the keys really is about our self-worth. Anchoring into that still point in the heart, deeply knowing your self-worth. Okay, so I think, yep, that's it. So that's a bit of an overview of that law. And any other comments or questions about this law?
I just want to comment on what you said, that once you do experience higher dimensional love, everything is clear.
Mm-hmm.
Is that helping?
Yeah.
Ken, were you, I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, Lil was having a problem and I was helping her with it. I'm sorry. I should have muted myself.
That's okay.
Yeah, it is so
We can do things all at once. Okay. So, okay, so what, shall we do a little bit of sending out? 10 minutes of sending? Steve, you have to get going. I think I went over. Oh no, I haven't really gone over yet.
Yeah, no, I'll stick around.
You have 10 minutes to send love out to the planet.
I do.
Oh, awesome.
Uh,
Okay.
uh,
Okay. We need you, Steve. Yes. All right. Okay. So yeah, even just sending out the knowing of this instantaneous transmission, which is connected to telepathy as well, which we're starting to anchor in. Any of the points, the flags lifting, any of that we can send into the collective. All right. So let me set the timer. Back into my phone here. Set it for 10. And so I think Gall, if you've been watching some of the recordings, you've seen us.
Just one or two, yes.
Yeah, we send the love out for 10 minutes at the end. All
Thank
right.
you.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, so let's do that. And you're welcome to mute yourself. I'm going to mute myself. So we'll see everyone in 10 minutes.
some bullshit.
What was all that? Can't hear you.
That was Zoom Bomber, right?
Yes.
I guess Gull was a Zoom bomber.
He
Wow.
was?
You think so?
Why would he spend the entire
That
class?
doesn't make any
No,
sense.
it doesn't make sense. I think it's someone else.
He annotated your slide with
Mm-hmm. Somehow he used the
annotation.
yeah, he used something down here. The whiteboard. He used the whiteboard, I think.
Huh.
Mm-hmm. Oh well, we're here to bless him.
Well.
Mhm.
But
I think when these things happen, it's like the opportunity not to judge it and just laugh and go, oh, we got bombed again.
I am. He is. That is absolutely fascinating to me. I
Mhm.
mean, that he would go to all the trouble to give us good vibes and everything,
Mhm.
and participate, and then end up like that. Something's off.
Yeah, I think it's off too.
Well, yeah.
I think it's someone else, really.
I think so too.
But he disappeared.
Don't know what to say about that.
Was
see if
there
he comes
anybody
back.
else?
And not that I could see.
We'll
Mhm.
see if he comes back.
Yeah.
I doubt whether he will.
I think in the future, like especially for these classes, because they're so small, we should just ask for them to show their faces.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah, Leanne had that. I see with the meditation, it's a little bit different because I mean, I have a harder time, but I think with these classes, I think we should just be asking. Because we haven't been Zoom bombed in the meditation for a long time. It's mostly these classes.
Not a big deal.
No, it's rather hilarious that they want to spend this much time with us. Just blast them with light.
well, they probably got a good dose of light, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's so fun. Oh, well. Yes, I think the more we're not judging it, the better. Just we're blessing it and just saying, well, I hope you come into the center. You're probably going to come into the center quicker coming to one of our classes. So funny.
Why would he waste his time?
I don't know what. Remember all of those guys? Why would they? What's the big? It was very confusing. The only thing I can think of is, and I think it came through Michael through Lee, because Lee Dagani does these Zoom classes as well and Zoom meditations, and she was getting bombed a lot. And Archangel Michael came through and said, we need to release something because we're attracting it with our thought patterns. So it's a good indication. We have a little bit more work to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, a few more barnacles.
Yeah, because it's all physics. It's all the law. It's the law of attraction and repulsion. And yeah. So
that
we
makes sense.
yeah, so we just welcome him in, which we did. We welcomed him in. And then he did his thing. And now we're blessing him. We're saying thank you. Okay, and then we can ask, okay, where is that in me? Like that'll be our homework. Where is that in me?
What if you don't feel like it is?
Well, there's no harm in asking.
No.
Then you're not attracting it. The
Yeah.
rest-
I'm sorry. Say that again, please.
Well, then you're not attracting it. The rest of us are, or someone is.
I know I'm perfect.
Ah!
Yeah,
Remember the onion, it's got a lot of layers.
yes, you are. You're right. You're perfect.
Well, that's true too. They're both true.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a good one for people to watch. It's actually good we're having this discussion. It's still being recorded. I mean, why not? We're working on ourselves. Mhm. And and as far the way I look at it, there's no harm in asking. So I'll go ask and say, okay, where's that in me? They'll show me. Mhm. Yeah. And then that's another layer peeled back. And then you're laughing and blessing. It's like maybe several layers, who knows? Yeah. The lady that I follow in India, who's in Rishikesh, she had a really good YouTube about forgiveness. And she said, if anger shows up, then and you're not expecting it, then welcome anger in and ask it lots of questions. Oh, I wasn't expecting you. Like it's like a visitor. The old emotions are like a visitor. So you welcome them in and you give them a cup of tea and you ask them questions. And before you know it, they're on their way. And then you just carry on. And if something else shows up, then you treat it like a visitor. It's
I
a
don't know, I feel
beautiful way.
kind of great. I'm sorry, go ahead.
It's a beautiful way to deal with the old feelings of lack.
I don't know, I'm kind of grateful that he showed up.
Yeah.
Because I think there were two things going on. One, he was participating, and two, he backed off from what was going on with him or something. So I don't feel insulted or used or anything like that. He got something out of it, and so did we.
Yeah, a good laugh.
We got a good laugh. Wow. Yeah. Well, if he wants to come in and listen about instantaneous transmission and transformation, perfect.
Right on target.
Yeah.
I want to turn that one down too. Is there a flag for Zoom bombing?
Yeah, there must be. You should ask SK. SK, is there a flag? He's laughing. SK is laughing.
Yeah, for a flag for attracting Zoom bombers.
Yeah,
Let's turn that down. Yes.
let's turn that one down.
Yeah.
So funny. Oh, well, it's good. You know what was coming to me, but as that was all happening was medical medium guy has said to eat potatoes. And I'm always like, why does he say eat potatoes? And I'm getting it. It's a root vegetable. So we're getting to the root, the more root vegetables you eat. That's what SK was telling me. I think while the Zoom bomber was doing his thing, that's why it took me a long time to figure it out.
So we're going deeper and deeper, are we?
Yeah. So let's get to the root of the Zoom bombers. Eat potatoes.
And dig them up first.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, good. Okay. Well, that was fun. I wasn't expecting us to end on a humorous note. So next week we'll be into the law of karmic dispensation, which is really deep forgiveness. It's fascinating. Yeah. And the 10th dimension. So, and hope with the Divine Mother, which is a really big, long blessing and virtue. It's beautiful. Steve, you are going to love it.
Good, wonderful. Use it.
Yeah. All right. So I'm just going to stop the recording unless anyone has anything else they want to say. Nope. Okay. So I'm going to thank everybody, even the Zoom bomber, for coming.
Yes. Wow.
Onwards and upwards.
No